Hello and welcome to the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center here at the University of New Haven. I'm Mike Maguire. I'm here on the set with Dr. Candice Deal, who's an Associate Professor of Accounting at Eastern Connecticut State University. Welcome.
Thank you.
You know, every once in a while, we like to, at Pitch Perfect, get a little behind the scenes, get a little bit deeper into talking with our judges other than just our contestant pitch competition. So, a couple questions for you, Doctor. What do you think makes up a robust and appropriate entrepreneurial education?
Definitely hands-on experience. You know, being in the classroom, majoring in entrepreneurship or management or marketing or any business discipline is definitely, it's fine because you need a foundation. But the real learning happens when you step outside of the classroom and you have that real hands-on experience, whether it be through an entrepreneurship, whether it be through an internship, or, you know, perhaps an opportunity to work along with a small business as a class project, but just real hands-on practical experience is where the learning really begins.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And you've been to a couple of our Charger Startup Weekends.
Yes.
And you've seen that firsthand. Yes. What kind of transformation did you see when the students, they arrive at Friday at 10 p.m. and they leave Sunday at noon? What did you observe there?
Well, the beginning of Charger Startup Weekend, that Friday evening, you know, terrified. And terrified in terms of they didn't know what to expect, what type of competition it was, and more so, you know, how can we do this in 3 days? Actually, less than 3 days. So the initial Charger Startup Weekend evening, the introduction evening, the pitch evening, it was definitely kind of feeling your way through. But I definitely start to see a transformation in my students after they have pitched. So when they started to observe all of the other students pitching, and then they're sitting there and they would say, oh wow, well I have an idea, you know, last semester I really wish that we had this app that can do this, you know, perhaps I should pitch that. So once they kind of get in the groove of pitching an idea, that's, for me, that's when I noticed the students start to transform and really get into the whole, you know, idea of Charger Startup Weekend and actually what it takes to even start a business or come up with a business idea.
Well, there's nothing more hands-on than actually going out and test driving your idea with customers, which is part of what Charger Startup Weekend is all about, is to get that market validation, because we all think we have the best ideas in the world, but if the market doesn't think so, guess what? We'll have nothing to do in accounting because there'll be nothing to count, right? So your students went through the experience. How are they changed? And some were just a few weeks ago, and some were a year ago. Have you observed changes in them and in their perspective or their maturity?
Yes, one in particular I would make mention of. He was not a business major. So this year I brought 6 of our Eastern students to Charger Startup Weekend. 5 of them were accounting majors, even one pursuing his master's degree in accounting. But there was one in particular that was a political science major. And I wanted him to join the team for Charger Startup Weekend because I kind of sensed that he had a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit, but didn't know which direction to go in, again, because he was not a business major. And so I invited him to, you know, to come down and observe. And again, I noticed his mindset changing after the pitch, after that Friday night. And so subsequent to Charger Startup Weekend, you know, we've had many conversations in my office, and, you know, now he's coming up with all of these different ideas, but he's found a way to kind of combine and collaborate his major and his love of political science with that of business and starting his own business in the field.
That's great. And one of the cool things about the center here at the University of New Haven is that it's pan-university. So you can be a fine arts major, you can be a political science major, you can be a business major. It doesn't matter. The entrepreneurial hands-on training that you get, you can apply to whatever you decide to do in your career. Absolutely,
absolutely. And that was one of the takeaways, you know, for that student in particular, because being a business owner, you don't necessarily have to be a business major.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. That's
you know, and sometimes that's the wrong perception that people have.
Right.
You know.
Well, the winner of our pitch competition in the spring was a fine arts major freshman from the Lime Academy of Fine Arts. So yes, absolutely. It can be anyone, and if you look all around at businesses, they cover the whole gamut.
Exactly, exactly, definitely.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Candice Steele. We're here on the set of Pitch Perfect, and we hope to see you again here soon.